ng tao ay may pinapangarap. Pangarap ang siyang nagbibigay sa atin ng motibasyon at dedikasyon upang kilusan na ito ay matupad. At para sa marami, ang makamit ang pangarap ay sukatan ng pagiging successful sa buhay. Pero para sa ating bisita ngayon dito sa Profile Overseas Diaries, mas lalong magiging makabuluhan at makahulugan ang katuparan ng mga pangarap mo kung may balik ito sa mga taong nakatulong sa iyo at maging sa mga taong hindi mo kakilala ngunit nakakapagbigay sa kanila ng makabuluhang pagbabahagi ng ating sarili. Samahan ninyo ako na kilalanin ng ating kababayang si Richelle Miller na nangarap libutin ang mundo habang bitbit ang advokasiyang tulungan ang mga batang dumaranas ng sakit ng kanser. Magandang araw, ako si Dong Robles.
What makes it different for me is I'm running for charities. I'm not just running for myself. Most people, they run 100 miles, they want, for whatever, for records. But for me, no, it's more for causes, and mostly children, pediatric cancer causes. My name is Richelle Miller. I am currently a bone marrow transplant nurse practitioner. I was born in Talisay, Negros Occidental, the Philippines.
Dito sa Children's Cancer Network Office ay regular na makikita ang presensya ni Richelle upang makiisa sa mga gawain nito para sa mga batang may sakit na cancer. At ngayon ay nandito siya para sa isang fundraising campaign. Bilang chairperson ng Childhood Cancer Care ng Arizona Lions Club 21 District North, personal na pinili ni Richelle ang CCN para maging partner at benepisaryo ng kanilang mga outreach. At ang isa sa mga pangunahin niyang pinagtutuunan ng pansin ay ang paghahanap ng stem cell transplant donors para sa mga batang may sakit na cancer.
After looking at 30 organizations that are involved in Arizona, I selected Children Cancer Network to be our partner. Children Cancer Network is actually a really reputable organization that was founded by a fellow nurse. She was a nurse at Phoenix Children's, and one of her kids got diagnosed with acute lymphoblastic leukemia. That's when she realized that she would be able to help all the other families that are affected by cancer by establishing Children Cancer Network. So what they do for the last 20 years, they've been awarded Best Nonprofit. And what they do is they actually go to Phoenix Children's every day. They partner with them. They paid for 2 family therapists so that the family could get psychological, mental assistance. Children Cancer Network always made sure that they get gifts during Christmas. So they not only help the person or the child that has cancer, they help the whole family. They also give them like gas cards, food, vouchers or certificates, gift basket during Easter, Christmas, and many holidays. And they also offer spring, summer, and fall camp. So by going to Children Cancer Network and attending their camps, they actually, feel like they're normal because they have to deal with the other kids that is undergoing the same treatment.
Ayon kay Richelle, naging tulay ang kanyang pagiging medical practitioner para maintindihan ng lubos ang mga hirap na pinagdaraanan ng mga batang may cancer, pati na rin ng mga pamilya nito. Bagay na nagtulak sa kanya para gawing advokasya ito at ituon ang kanyang karir sa pagtulong sa kanila.
I worked for 10 years in the critical care field before I decided to go back to get my doctorate degree in nursing. And my first job was a nurse practitioner at Banner MD Anderson Cancer Center. That is where I actually experienced firsthand disparities that Asian Americans experiences in trying to find a fully matched donor if they need a stem cell transplant. So that motivated me to campaign by collaborating with the National Marrow Donor Program as well as the Asian American Donor Program to promote how to increase enrollment among Filipinos in stem cell transplant donations. It's so hard to find resources for families with a child that has cancer because it depletes the whole family. It's not just the kid that gets affected. It's the siblings, the parents, all your resources go to one kid because, you know, healthcare is very expensive because we don't have universal healthcare. And it's not just a one-time deal, it's a lifelong battle because even after treatment, sometimes they go in remission, but sometimes there's secondary cancer, which is because of the previous treatment, you know.
Ang kanyang personal na dedikasyon sa piniling advokasya para sa mga batang may kanser ay hindi natatapos sa loob lamang ng kanyang opisina o 8 oras na pagtatrabaho bilang bone marrow transplant nurse. Bagkus, maging ang kanyang paboritong libangan ay nakaangkla sa kanyang cancer causes.
Before being a nurse practitioner, my hobbies were running, and I actually have a lot of medals from running. I started running in 2008 because I wanted to really participate in Putz Run. So I started training myself through Runner's World magazine tips on how to run. And from that time on, after I ran my first Putz Run, I got hooked into running and I ended up doing the 6 marathon majors. I was actually one of the first few, or maybe one of the first Filipinos that got that award in 2015. What makes it different for me is I'm running for charities. I'm not just running for myself. It's more for causes, and mostly children, pediatric cancer causes. And that brought me to the Lions Club. I've been a member of the Lions Club International since I was in college back in La Salle, Bacolod. And I feel like the Lions is the largest service organization in the world, and if I really want to make a difference in the world, I have to be with an organization that has a global impact. So I've been very busy, but this 2023, I accepted the role to be the childhood cancer chair for Arizona Lions Club 21 District North. And basically, my job as a childhood cancer cause chairman is to find a organization that focuses on childhood cancer here in Arizona. And I am familiar with all the organization because I've been running for charity for them.
Matapos makagraduate ng accounting sa La Salle, Bacolod noong 1992, inamin ni Richelle na wala sa hinagap ng kanyang isipan na siya ay magiging nurse o magiging isang Mrs. Miller. Dahil noon ay isang bagay lang ang gusto niyang mangyari sa kanyang buhay, ang libutin at bisitahin ang buong mundo.
I always dreamt to travel the world. That was my only dream. I never dreamed to get married. I never dreamed to have children. My dream was to travel the world, and I did. I've been to 110 countries. Back when, because I'm 52 now, it's so expensive to be able to travel. So the only way to get to travel is to be either a flight attendant or be a pilot. And then my generation, there's not very many women pilots. You know, it was, you know, in the Philippines, to be a flight attendant is like winning a beauty pageant. You know, it's, you don't aim to be a nurse or a accountant, you aim to be a flight attendant back in the Philippines. So I applied with Philippine Airlines I graduated accounting from University of St. La Salle in March of 1992.
Okay.
And then I went to Manila to visit my cousin, and my cousin said, "You are too beautiful to be an accountant. You have to be a flight attendant." So she actually made me fill out a application with Philippine Airlines, and she drove me all the way to the Philippine Airlines office in Makati. And they told me, they were like, oh, we're not hiring currently, but we'll keep your application in case we need a flight attendant, we will notify you. So at that time, I was an accounting clerk with Avon Cosmetics in Bacolod City.
Okay.
And they called me one day and they were like, hey, is this Richelle Belicina? We have a recruitment. It's gonna be tomorrow at Iloilo. If you're interested to go and apply for Philippine Airlines, you could go to Iloilo and apply there. So my best friend in college and I, we took a boat. You know, there's a ferry from Bacolod to Iloilo. And then we arrived there just in time when they opened the recruitment. I was surprised there were 2,000 applicants. And they said they were only take 13. After the initial interview and the question and answer, they selected 200 girls, and 200 of us had to take an exam. And then within 1 week, they called me. I was in Avon Cosmetics, obviously. I was at work. They were like, oh, you were selected among the 13 people, and so you're gonna start training in Manila for 3 months. And it was probably the most intense training I've ever had, because their requirement is you have to have a 90% grade at every test. So they combine us with a group of, we were 13 because there were 21 of us in the class. So there were 8 other girls that were from UP, you know, St. Paul, all the prestigious schools in Manila. They combine us with the Ilonggos from Iloilo. And me, I was the only one from Bacolod. So there were 21 of us in the class. And every week there's somebody that falls off. Until we graduated in November, there were only 13 of us who graduated.
Nagtrabaho bilang flight attendant si Richelle ng 7 taon at matapos ay nanirahan ng ilang taon sa Oman kung saan nakilala niya ang kanyang mister. Taong 2001 nang sila ay lumipat at mamuhay sa Arizona at dito na rin piniling tumira ng permanente.
I always knew that I only wanted to be a flight attendant for 5 years, just because I wanted to travel the world. I know that was my passport to the world. I did not really think about it as a, you know, lifetime career. No, you know, I was like, I don't want to be a flight attendant at 50. You know, for me, it was a stepping stone to traveling. I worked as a flight attendant for 7 years, and after 7 years, I did not find it any challenging anymore. So that's when I switched to a different career. I was a flight attendant with Philippine Airlines, and then after that, I went to Oman Air, and I trained with Emirates and Oman Air, and I was living in Oman for 7 years. And then I met my husband and moved here in 2001. And then I was like, oh, what shall I do now? I know I want to do something else.
At dito nagsimula ang karera ni Richelle sa healthcare industry. Nag-aral si Richelle ng nursing sa payo na rin ng kanyang asawa at ng universidad.
So I went to ASU for advising because my degree was in business. And they asked me, what do you want to do? And I said, I don't know. You know, I haven't been an accountant for 7 years. And then the teacher said, okay, let's look at your personality test. And she was like, I think you fit more into healthcare instead of business. And I was like, oh, I never really thought about that. But I said, my husband did suggest that maybe I should be a nurse because, you know, then we could travel anywhere and I could still have a job. Instead of a 4-year bachelor's degree, I only took it for 2 because, you know, I was exempted to so many classes, I think 8 classes, and then I just had to take the, you know, biology, you know, anatomy 101 and all that stuff. I became a neuro ICU nurse after graduating from ASU. So after 10 years in nursing, I was like, you know what, it's time to go back and get my doctorate degree. And my husband, of course, was like, okay, going back to school again. I was like, well, you know, if you want me not to be working weekends and nights anymore, I think, you know, I should go and get this degree.
At kahit pa super busy sa kanyang pag-aaral at pagtatrabaho, hindi nakahadlang ang mga ito sa pagtakbo ni Richelle para sa charity causes sa mga batang may sakit ng cancer.
I was working full-time. I was doing clinicals, and then I was going to school full-time. I did slow down a bit because I used to run 3 marathons a year, and then longer, like 50-miler or 100-miler. But between 2015, I ran a 50-miler in February, and then I ran the Paris and the London Marathon back-to-back in April. And then in August, I started the program, and I did not run the rest of the year. I just ran like small races, no marathons. And then in 2016, the only marathon I ran was in Honolulu and the Disney World Marathon. And then in 2017, I ran Sydney. And then I graduated in 2018. In 2018, I ran the Sacramento Marathon. But every year, I run marathon until COVID happens. So 2020, there was no marathons. It was banned. So I did not have any runs. In 2021, I ran the virtual Antarctica Marathon because I always wanted to do the 7 continents. But it's always hard to, to go and get into Antarctica because they have a waiting list. And I was always like, okay, next year. And then finally during COVID, they said, oh, we can do virtual. I was like, even better, I'll just do virtual. I ran in Tempe Town Lake and then submitted my watch. And I won the warmest Antarctica Marathon because it was 82 degrees in Tempe Town Lake. But I ran it for BIDA match, which is the National Marrow Donor Program. So every single marathon I had, I run it for charity. It was never, I want to run a marathon for the record so that I'm the best of the best. No, it was always for charity. So that was the purpose. It was never for myself.
Sa ngayon ay maligaya at kontento na si Richelle sa kanyang mga nagawa at sa piling ng kanyang asawa at may isa na lang siyang nais na gawin.
Moving forward, all I want is to just, enjoy the rest of my life with my husband as well as my aunt who actually brought me up. So she's coming over in October or in September. She finally got her visa. She sold her beauty salon and now she's free. She can travel around the world with me. So I'm looking forward to that and see, what we can do together because really she was 29 when she took care of me and she was always like there for me, financially, emotionally, everything, So I'm looking forward spending the rest of her maybe 10, 15 years of her life with us and travel with her because I actually got my desire to travel from her. She introduced me at a very young age to world history. She had this book about world history and all the great places around the world, India and Taj Mahal and all that. The only reason why I went to Taj Mahal is because of Mama Delhi. So she was my inspiration on the reason why I always wanted to travel. She introduced me to the books and the travel, American literature and world history and all the famous and smart people around the world.
Tunay na may dugong Pinoy at may malalim na pagpapahalaga sa pamilya at sa kanyang pinanggalingan. Ito ang kanyang payo sa mga nagnanais ding hanapin ang kanilang kapalaran sa ibang bansa.
Yeah, I think it's important to really know what you're passionate about and always remember where you come from. Your family is the most important thing. I am very lucky and blessed to have a very good family. Our family is very religious and it's very tight and close-knit.
Para kay Richelle, marami pang milya siyang tatakbuhin para isulong ang kanyang advokasiyang tulungan ang mga batang may kanser at marami pa siyang kontinenteng dadalawin kasama ang kanyang Tita Deli. At sa mga hinaharap pa na pagtakbo niya at paglalakbay ay marami pa siyang makikitang oportunidad na magbibigay sa kanya ng inspirasyon na mas lalong magpapaigting sa layon niyang makatulong sa kanyang kapwa. Naway muling nakapulutan ng aral at inspirasyon ang kwento na ibinahagi namin sa inyo ngayon. Ang Profile Overseas Diaries ay laging handa at bukas para sa ating mga kababayan na nagnanais magbahagi ng kanilang mga kwento ng buhay. Mag-email lang sa pmma.usa22@gmail.com. At upang mapanood ang lahat ng aming mga episodes, bisitahin lang ang aming YouTube channel. I-type lang ang Profile Overseas Diaries. Makisuyo na rin na i-like, mag-subscribe at pindutin ang aming notification button para kung may mga bago kaming istorya, una kang makakaalam. You can also visit our website. Basta't isulat lamang sa search engine ang pmma.usa.mozilusite.com kung saan mababasa naman ninyo ang iba pa naming istorya. And we also have our Facebook page. Muli, maraming salamat. Ako si Dong Robles.
Get ready, Phoenix! It's time for a night of non-stop laughter and entertainment. Laughter in Tandem is coming live to the Grand Ballroom of Hilton Scottsdale Resort and Villas in Scottsdale, Arizona on September 7, 2024. Starring the incomparable Donita Knows and the hilarious Super Tekla with special guest Jinky Oda. Don't miss out on this unforgettable evening filled with laughter and surprises. Tickets are available now. General admission for just $98 or go VIP with a meet and greet for $148. For ticket information, contact Alma Goldsmith at 602-509-8524 or Alvin Silva at 623-643-9800. Brought to you by M&A Gold Productions in cooperation with DJ Alvin Silva, Jeweler Entertainment, and Luxury Closet. Mark your calendars and join us for Laughter in Tandem, September 7th at the Hilton Scottsdale Resort and Villas.
Comes to Media and Entertainment, where your go-to source for latest trends and news.
Let's give a spotlight to those successful and inspiring stories from our vibrant community and celebrate those who make a difference every day.
Whether your career, your passions, and personal growth, we've got the latest scoop.
And insider tips that will make you fulfilled.
From latest in fashion, travel, and mouth-watering food trend to business age strategies, we got you covered. From different walks of life, we bring you stories that inspire and empower.
Let us share your journey and showcase your unique experiences.
Let us show you the stories that matter.
Your ultimate source of information.
Your inspiration and connection.
We are the AZ Pinoy Unlimited.